Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. And other than afternoon, where I normally shoot these videos, it's morning. And in the morning, I'm shooting a video because I promised to show you my secret method of cutting wire, like chicken wire, aviary wire, anything like that. Fast, easy, and keep yourself from getting all chopped up. All right, so the secret is right here, and one person did guess it, and you know who you are because you're a winner. You won one of the prizes, right, from the giveaway. So you're pretty good at guessing this stuff if you're not looking it up online. But this is the tool right here. Okay, you can buy a cheap 4.5 inch angle grinder at Harbor Freight. Usually they go on sale for $15, $14.99. All right, and when you see these metal cutting wheels go on sale, pick yourself up a few packs of them. They come in 10 packs, I think. That's what I usually buy, and they're inexpensive, but you'll use the heck out of this. Now, you notice I took the guard off of this thing. That's because I sometimes use the cutter in this angle and sometimes use it in this angle, and rotating the guard is just a pain in the neck. So I'm going to get up on my ladder right here and show you how I cut that section across the top right there. Now, I still have it fastened with one nail up there in the top corner and down in this lower corner on the other side of that post. That's so that this thing doesn't spring into my face while I'm cutting it. So remember that. But I'm not going to cut all the way through. I'm just going to show you how fast I can cut through probably half of it here. And that'll be enough for you to get the idea. Now, remember, safety first when you're doing this stuff. So I do have a glove on my hand so I keep it from anything like that. And you don't want to be holding a camera while you're doing that like me. But after 1,000 years of doing this stuff, you kind of get a little risky. Let me get up here and get out of the way of the poking wire. All right. Okay, so it's going to be noisy, so I don't want to run this too long, but I will show you a quick cut and how fast and easy this is. All right, so make sure you get one with the lock-on switch, not the paddle switch. Those paddle switch things are a pain in the neck. All right, so here we go. And it's that easy. As you can see, I just cut 3 feet of that in that little short time. So I'm going to pause this and get some more work done, and then I'll be back with you to finish up later on today. All right, everybody, I'm back. It's only been a second or so for you, but a couple hours have gone by for me. I've been doing a bunch of stuff in here. I got all the wire trimmed on the top up here, and it's all stacked right here for further use. I think what I'm going to end up doing with that, at least most of it, is laying it in the ground underneath the raised bed planters that go along the wall. So if critters tunnel underneath and come up to try to get to the roots of my plants, they will run into wire. That's what's in here. This whole section underneath that whole raised bed is all that same aviary wire. So the critters can't tunnel up from underneath. So that's been working for me for all the years since I built this place. And originally, like I said, it ended here. I added this extension on a couple of years ago. Then I added this extension on after I got a great deal on the Harbor Freight greenhouse, which I don't recommend if you live in the desert. I don't recommend you get one, because basically, bottom line is anything plastic. If you're going to live in the desert, forget it. Do not buy plastic. Plastic anything, I don't care. Plastic barrels, plastic buckets, plastic sheets, plastic panels, I don't care. Anything. It all falls apart out here in the desert. The sun and the dry climate just eats up plastic. So stay away from that. Rubber hoses are the best for garden hoses. Anything metal is good for tools, but if you got wooden handle tools, I suggest you get yourself some good linseed oil or something to that effect, and keep the handles coated with a good oil, because they will dry out on you and end up giving you splinters like you've never seen before. All right, so back to this. Got all of that trimmed. I got the stuff on the outside trimmed. I got it all tacked into place. There's still a piece of wire out there on top of the tote. I just put it there temporarily because I still need to patch that lower section down there, but I'm going to do some modifications. So I started doing stuff over here, cleaning this junk out. These two buckets are going to the dump, and probably those two are going to the dump. And that used to be a planter, and I don't want a planter there anymore. I'm going to save this for things like my sprayers and that stuff that just need to be out of the way, but still handy to grab. So that's what's going to happen there. I am going to extend the wire on the pump and move the pump, because it's just not a good place there with the hose going right across the pathway. So that's got to be modified. And like I said, I'm thinking about going with PVC pipe coming off of that unit and running the length of the center of the garden house here. And then every now and then down a pole, I'll put a drop with a quick disconnect for a garden hose. And then I only really need a short 25-foot, even shorter. I could probably get away with, I would say a 15-foot hose. So I can get a 25-footer and cut it down and add a new end to it, and then it'd be a lot less to carry around. And then just put a hose hanger somewhere against one of the walls where I can just drop the hose on there when I'm not using it, and I always know where it's at. And then I don't have to worry about tripping on this stuff. So the reason I'm back right now is there's going to be more to this video, so I'm going to be pausing again. You see my rototiller is here. I'm getting ready to rototill this. Now, the soil temperature is what's important here. Now, I can't plant until the soil temperature gets up to above 68 degrees. So here's my thermometer. And I have the little red needle. Oops, let me move it a little bit. I have the little red needle set right now at just around right there. That's at 68 degrees right now. Okay, so that's where I need my soil to be, is right where that is, and the needle's a little low even out here in the air. So if I stick this in the soil right now and we keep an eye on it, you'll notice that it's going down. It's going to go all the way down to 50 degrees. And that's as low as it goes. It can go lower, the temperature in the soil could be lower, but the gauge can't go any lower than 50 degrees. It's got a stop built inside of it. Okay, so the ground is way too cold for planting. So what am I going to do? Well, first thing I want to do is rototill it so I can get all of the horse manure churned in with the soil, mixed in with the soil, because that's fertilizer that's going to be making my plants happy this year. Okay, so I'm going to rototill this now and get this part rototilled, and then I'll get that part rototilled. All right, so it'll all be rototilled, but I've got that visqueen right there, and the first thing I'm going to do is pull off a piece and cover this soil, and I'm just going to put weights on it to hold it down, just so it holds heat in and warms up the soil faster. So as soon as the last chance of frost is gone, I can plant, and my plants will take right away because the soil is already warmed up to their likeness, right? So that's my plan. So I'm going to get this part done, and I'll be back to you a little later. All right, I'm back again. I got this one all tilled and raked out and leveled and ready for planting. Now I'm going to give it a good soaking and then cover it with visqueen. But I might have to hold off on that because the wind's just picked up. And trying to handle visqueen in the wind is no fun. Even though the winds are cut down quite a bit inside of here, it's still going to be enough to cause havoc. So I rototilled this whole section, but I haven't raked it out yet because I wanted to just see what it looks like when it's all rototilled. And I was wondering, you know, they used to call it, I got the pastures all tilled. I wonder if the till stood for until I plant it. Oh, all right. I'll be back. Okay, the next part is all raked and not quite leveled, but good enough for right now because I still need that horse manure to break down a little bit more, but I've still got to warm the soil up. So I'm going to get this all watered down now, so it's got plenty of moisture in it. So I don't want my soil to get completely dried out because then it rejects water. If you've ever had potting soil that completely dried out from sitting in your garden house or whatever, and then try to add water to it, you'll notice that it just floats. It doesn't want to absorb water. So you have to soak it for a long period of time. But I'm going to get this watered down real good, water my other plants along the line here, make sure they're all happy and healthy, and then I'll start wrapping up for the day because it's getting late in the afternoon. I'll be back. All right, so I'm back again, and here we are. We got everything soaked down, all the plants watered. And while I was doing that, I noticed that hey, this grapevine is starting to sprout too. Cool. Yeah, it's got sprouts on it. Look at that. And that one up there has already got leaves showing. I'm going to get a good crop on that one this year. Oh, yes, sirree. I'm going to be eating grapes until I can't stand to look at them anymore, and then I'll turn them into wine and drink wine till I can't stand looking at it. That'll never happen. All right. So everything is soaked down the way it should be. And I'm going to be closing those up over there. It's calmed down a little bit, so I might try to get the visqueen over the top of that. And I'm thinking, for right now, I can just use my stapler and staple it down all the way around, because I'm going to be starting just small plants in there, which right down the center is going to be 14 tomato plants. So I'll go 3 wide and, well, 2 down there, but 3 wide in the other section here to do the first 12, and then 2 more down on the end down there in between the 2 tree boxes. And then on the outsides, I'll probably put some other things in there, but basil's going to go in with this stuff also. So what I do is, instead of pulling up the visqueen when it's time to plant, is just put some hot coals in a tin can with a long handle on it, and then just burn round holes where I'm going to plant, and then I'll put my plants in those holes. So the visqueen can stay on there and help keep moisture in, so I don't have to water as often, right? And then with the if that automatic timer works that I got, the solar powered one, then I don't want to run the pump, but if that does work, I'll set it up to run off of one of the totes all by itself, and I'll do drip watering in these plants down here, so they just get automatically watered every other day or so when the heat comes on. And it's got to be close to 80 here today. It's a beautiful day. I'm glad the winds are dying down right now. It's getting a little bit late in the day. I got about an hour before I got to go feed the dogs, so I'm going to have to get things going here. Now, I put the cleats on the bottom yesterday. I put the cleats on the top today. So these are all attached. Both of them are. And I took out the 2x4 that was in the middle there. So I got an easy walk through here now. Now I want to get these out of here, so I'll bring my trailer over tomorrow and park it right outside this door. And I'm going to start loading it up with junk. And I just noticed I got a leak right here. So I'm going to have to address that. Yeah, I'll have to address it. What do you think? Tuxedo? No, I'm not going to address it. I'm going to address it. All right, Dad, I got to fix the screen out here. So I got a few things that still have to be done, because the mice and the rats will run right up that garden hose and come in this place. So I got to take the hose off, patch the screen, and make a hole just big enough for the hose to fit through. That's all that's needed. And the hose will block off the hole, so I don't have to worry about critters coming up and getting through there. I don't want critters in here. I got everything all prettied up and ready to go. And I'm hoping for a good harvest this year. Lots of delicious fruits and vegetables. And by the way, to my little lady friend down in Australia, who likes doing gardening, she asked, where's my lemon tree? Well, it's right there. And I got grapefruit over here. And I got lime over there. No, sorry, that's Tangelo. Lime is right there. So I got lime, lemon, Tangelo, and grapefruit. Yep. That's what's going on here. At least I think I remembered the order correctly. But you know, you can pluck off a leaf and tear it and smell it, and then you could tell what it is, whether it's a lemon or a lime or an orange or whatever. Because they'll put off the odor that you get when you peel an orange or cut a lemon or a lime. So, got a lot of fresh growth, new stuff coming out on these, looking good. They did take a hit this winter with this place wide open and the birds getting in. But everything's soaked down right now, looking good. So I'm going to close this off, and I got a lot of editing to do. I did a lot of piecework on this video. So thank you all for joining me. Remember, questions and comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe. Come on, let's get the subscribership up. I'm going to get to that 10,000 mark. This is G Bear signing off. So I was going by an urgent care place the other day, and just as I was pulling up to it, a pepperoni ran out and yelled, "I'm cured!"